All right, y'all. So unfortunately, hot girl summer is at its end, but fall is beginning. So we're bringing out the pretty fall colors. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did this, a beautiful install, how I did this color. And of course, we're going to get into a shop talk. So before we start the video, you already know I have to announce my monthly $100 giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, like this video, comment below, and leave your Cash App. One of my subscribers is winning $100 in all the products from this video. Good luck, y'all. What is going on, YouTube? It's your girl Easy Breezy, and I'm back with another hair sponsor. Thank you so much, YGwigs, for sponsoring this video with this really pretty black lace front unit that I dyed. Just kidding. I did not dye this wig. It actually came pre-colored from the company. So when you guys order this wig from their website, you will get it exactly like this in the mail. Along with the wig already arriving pre-dyed, the hairline will already come slightly customized. Now, it doesn't come fully customized. Some girls like their, hairline a little bit more scalpy, but it definitely makes it easier if you're plucking and bleaching and, doing all the customizing at home. All right, y'all, so I already prepped the hairline by cleansing the application area with some sea breeze. Now I'm applying the liquid lace glue so we can attach this stocking cap, right? So, of course, if you need your stocking caps, head to galaxygirlhair.com, where we have 3 different complexions, which really fits a wide range of skin colors. We have the beige, the medium brown, and the dark brown. The one that I'm using in this video in particular is the medium brown. So once you order this lovely pre-dyed wig from YGwigs, head to my website and get your stocking caps, get your lace glue, get your pink hot comb, your edge brushes, and everything you need to install your wig. Whew. All right, y'all. So let's get into this shop talk. All right. Now, y'all already know whatever happens in the shop stays in the shop. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I basically befriended this guy, right? That I liked, but because he was in a relationship, I was keeping it platonic, you know what I'm saying? Or as platonic as I could at the time. And we basically had a 2-year friendship, but it was sexually charged. Like, we tried to keep it platonic, but the sexual energy was just so crazy that we ended... Okay, let me just start from the beginning. So basically, I went to high school with this guy, right? He was really cute, tall, had dreads, brown skin, nice smile. Like, everything about him was just extremely attractive to me. Like, even down to how he acted and how not on the scene he was. Like, it's something about really cute guys that are not in the in crowd that is just so attractive to me. Like, I love a guy in the cut. Another thing that made me attracted to him was, number one, his low keyness, but his high keyness when it came to the females. Like, even though he wasn't out front and he didn't have like the biggest personality or he wasn't flashy, females were still choosing on him. So that kind of like upped his value in a sense. So in high school, we never really spoke. We just passed each other in the hallways. I guess we never really had a reason to speak to each other at that time. It just wasn't the time, God didn't make us cross paths at that moment. But it happened like a couple years after high school. Actually, no, it was the year right after I graduated. So, okay, now that I'm telling this story, I'm actually remembering more and more. So his personality is kind of like low-key, kind of quiet. I'm not going to say shy because it's a difference between being shy and being quiet. Being shy is being like scared to say something. Being quiet is just, you just don't want to talk to nobody. So he was like a quiet type of guy, right? So anyways, on my 19th birthday, I got a hotel for my friends and I was going to this club in Atlanta called Mansion Line. And I'm like, I'm just going to invite him to my section. So he was like, okay. He was kind of shocked. He was like, okay, I'll be there. I'm going to bring my friends too. So he came with 2 of his friends. I was with like maybe 10 of my friends and we went to the club or whatever. So when we're outside, right? Everyone had to give $20 to go toward the section, right? And it was like a perfect amount of people to equal, I think it was like $200 or however much the section was. Long story short, we were kind of short of like, I think it was like $60 to $80. And I'm looking around like, who the fuck didn't pay? So we're looking around and everyone is like, oh, we paid. Him and his friends paid. So I'm just like looking around like, it's crazy that someone here is actually lying, but I was like, whatever. So my homegirl, one of my best friends, Finesse, ended up fronting me the money for the section and I had to pay her back. But after that day, I was just like, whatever, maybe we just miscounted. I don't know. So after that day, we were like officially on each other's radar, right? So we're texting and I'm all happy. I'm like, ew. Like, I can't believe that I actually came on to him and he actually likes me. Like, that was mind blowing in itself. And he was just so fine to me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So after a while, he started to invite me over his house to smoke. So the first time I went over there, we didn't go in his house or nothing. We were just sitting in his car and we were having like casual conversation. And he mentioned his girlfriend, like just in conversation, like randomly, like, oh yeah, I gotta let my girlfriend know, or I gotta let my girlfriend in or something like that. And I'm just like, wait, what? So I'm confused here. Number one, did he really try to slip that in there just now? Number two, does your quote unquote girlfriend allow you to sit in cars with other women and smoke with them? Yeah, that situation was just kind of weird for me. And remember, guys, this was the very first encounter. Well, second, technically. The first one was the club. So I'm just like, okay, this is already a little bit weird. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to disrespect his relationship. I'm just going to play my part and just be his friend. Like, that's enough for me. Like, I'm not no mistress out here. So as time goes on, right, we continue to do these little sneaky links, right? So sometimes we'll be in my car, sometimes we'll be in his car, but whatever. So one day I'm in his car smoking with him and this car pulls up in his driveway right beside our car and she gets out and she's like a really pretty girl. She has long, pretty hair. She has this work uniform on and I'm thinking, that must be his girlfriend. Like, it just instantly clicked in my mind. And he gets out the car, like kind of like hesitantly. And he comes around, he hugs her and they kiss. And I don't know what they're saying, but I can tell by the way she's looking at him and looking at me that she's a little bit suspicious about what's going on. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, I mean, I didn't do nothing wrong, but I feel wrong right now. So she ends up going in the house. She doesn't, acknowledge me or nothing. He doesn't try to introduce us. I'm just like, okay, like you're making me feel like I'm doing something sneaky right now. Like, I really feel like I have the no feeling. Like, he is a sneaky guy. I'm realizing that for the first time. So another time, but this time I'm actually inside his house. So we're just chilling. He's playing video games. We're smoking, whatever. So the girlfriend walks through the door, right? And I'm looking, I'm just like, hey, I wave at her, smile on my face. She kind of waves at me, but doesn't really have the same type of smile on her face. So she ends up walking past us, he leaves the room to go talk to her or whatever and then comes back. And I'm like, this is weird because why don't you introduce us? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm helping him openly cheat, but It's like he wants us to get acquaintance with each other, but he doesn't want us to get too close to each other. So shortly after she came, I just left because I was uncomfortable. You know, one day this girl gonna swing on me because she don't know who I am. I feel like I'm out of place. So I just left. Now, y'all, one thing I will say is I am technically innocent, but low-key I'm not innocent because I'm around him for a reason. I like looking at his face, period. Like, I like being around him, I like looking at him, and that's just a fact of the matter, right? So fast forward, I end up going to his house a couple days later to, you already know, smoke again. And I feel like we both used that as an excuse just to see each other. Like, we're just smoking. What's the problem? So one night after we smoke, he ends up inviting me into his house again. And once we walk inside, he closes the door, turns around, turns off the light, and then picks me up, y'all, like by my ass. So at this point, my legs are around him and I'm just looking at him like, oh my gosh, like, we never went this far before, so I didn't really know what to do. So it's not like I'm, you know, acting sexual with him or acting like I want it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, it's almost like I froze. So he carried me to the room and like put me on the bed, and we just started talking, and it just kind of like never ended. We kind of like talked all night and didn't do anything sexual. So after that day, I came to the conclusion that he wanted to have a sexual relationship with me, but I'm realizing that either he was guilty, he didn't really want to take it there, he was, I don't know, too scared to do it. I'm not really sure what the thing was, but I'm glad he didn't because, I mean, I done met his girlfriend twice already. I would have felt crazy. So one day I'm just by myself and I'm thinking, right? And I'm realizing, like, every few times we smoke, right? He says, okay, just bring a blunt. I'll give you 5. I'll put in half or whatever, right? And I'm realizing that he never really cash apps me after we're done. So I'm thinking about all the times, it's maybe like 3 or 4 times he just like never sent me the money. And I'm thinking in my mind, I know he's not trying to steal from me or finesse me. But I don't know, I kind of brush it aside because I'm like, I mean, he always brags about his business and how he makes money this and does that. So I'm like, maybe he's not trying to forget to pay me. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with that. All right, so fast forward again, I'm with him and he tells me that he breaks up with his girlfriend, right? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm thinking he's lying off rip, right? I'm like, if you're still single 3 months from now, then I'll believe you. So 3 months later, he claimed he was still single. And I'm like, okay. Okay, so like, what does this mean? Like, in my mind, I knew that he wasn't looking for another relationship because, I mean, clearly, if he's gonna cheat on his own girlfriend, what the hell he gonna do to me? And number 2, I'm like, I don't know if this man actually got in my section for free and lied and said him and his friends paid. Then you don't be paying me all the time when we smoke together. So it's like I already had trust issues with him and he's like a low-key dirty dog. So at this point, like, we've already been linking up for 2 whole years. Supposedly, he's been single for a little bit over 3 months. So at this point, I'm feeling a little bit open, you know what I'm saying? So we're chilling in his car one day, taking shots, and y'all, one thing led to another, and I allowed our relationship to get sexual for the first time. Now, the only problem with this was he didn't do anything to earn me, okay? We weren't dating. He wasn't courting me or spending anything to be around me. And y'all, the sex was freaking horrible. It was like unemotional. It was no love. It was no passion. It was like a bunch of nothing. And I thought to myself, why was I waiting on this again? So after that like awkward encounter, I kind of stopped seeing him like that. It was almost like after all the chase, after the fantasizing, after the romanticizing about him, once that moment actually came, I was just like, ew, I don't really like him as much as I thought I did. So after my feelings got out of it, I started to see him for who he was. And y'all, he was not a good person. Like, after that day, I really wasn't on his dick, no, you know what I'm saying, no more like I was. I really wasn't hitting him up no more. It was like the fantasy ended, the chase ended. And I think that he can tell that I was treating him a little different after that. But it's not like I was being mean or rude to him. I just wasn't on his line like I was before because, I don't know, the fantasy, the chase, it was over. So let me tell you how this whole thing switched, okay? So I guess he realized that I wasn't head over heels for him no more, and I wasn't like doing things whenever he asked me to and bending over backwards for him. And I guess he ain't like that too much because after that, he started to like be shady toward me. He started to say things to me that would normally affect someone's self-esteem in a negative way, but I didn't care enough to let that happen. And he would say things to me that was like low-key rude as hell. And I'm like, have the tables officially turned? And I started to realize I was in a relationship feeding my energy to a whole narcissist. Like, wow. And I'm going to continue this story in a part 2, but let's get into this hair for right now. All right, so we are finally at the end of this video, and this hairstyle came out amazing. First of all, that heart-shaped hairline, the baby hairs, the color, I like the little patch at the top. They really did a good job. So once again, thank you so much, YGwigs, for sponsoring this video with this lovely, must I say, this lace was absolutely flawless. I didn't have to do really anything to it as far as tinting. So if you guys want this exact unit, I'm going to put all the information in the description below. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that and turn on your notifications. And hey, stick around, pay attention, because I'm gonna put part 2 in another video. See y'all later.